All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Icon issue number one. We take a look at this one from Milestone Comics and DC. I believe Milestone is an imprint of DC. Not sure how it all works. There was also some kind of a resurgence in 2021 that Milestone came back. And nobody bought the comics, by the way. So this whole representation thing was just non-existent, right? It's just buzzwords. But back in the day, Icon, I'm not sure it was big, but people talked about it. And I see it advertisement everywhere. And there was a lot of comics, but from, spin-offs like Hardware, Blood Syndicate, Static, and maybe I missed a couple of them as well. So I thought to myself, I'm going to buy the whole bunch. Well, I have not everything, but I got a lot. And I wanted to, show them. And so without further ado, we dive right in. We have the writer Dwayne McDuffie, which I heard that name before. MD Bright is the penciler, Mike Gustovich is the inker, and Steve Dutra is the letterer. Noel Giddings is the colorist. Also, it has a trading card, etc., etc. Well, I don't have that, but what I do have is this. This is actually cool. So this is more like the backstory. So he has like Superman-esque origins, right? So you can pause the video and want to read who he is, and yeah. But it's also been prevalent in the comics. So yeah, also came with a poster, but it's the same cover and something else as well. But okay, we are here for the comic. So this is some kind of a star cruiser. It blows up for reasons. People are panicking, or these aliens are panicking, and this particular creature is, going to his escape pods. Well, I believe it explodes or something, and it goes to Earth. Now, I was wondering. That looks good, by the way, in my opinion. How far were they from Earth? I mean, does this pod has, I don't know, interstellar capability, light speed, and all that stuff, or were they actually around? In the Sol system, our system. Makes me wonder. So, but it was in the 1800s, and this was a slave woman, and she is, basically doing the Kal-El reveal, but then with a twist. So, instead of finding a baby in here, well, she does, but different. This alien creature is, I don't know, DNA thing restructures to look like a young black boy, and it also says here as well that the pod reconfigures the genetic structure of its passenger to match whatever life form it first encounters. I like that. So this is not the original look of Icon, but what's weird, and maybe it's going to reveal later. So this is in the 1800s. This is in 1993. So does that make? His name is August or Augustus. Is he immortal, or is he just just like Superman can young forever, stuff like that? I don't know. Anyway, but he's a lawyer, and his companion Saul says, "Hey Augustus, get yourself together, will you? You're supposed to go over the caseload." He says, "Well, I was daydreaming. Are you thinking about women? I suggest you put the handcuffs away, at least until the second date." That's an extremely poor taste, Sal. Why am I not surprised? I have to admit, though, I was thinking about a woman. But hey, we know go to the court, right? And he says that he's that he met a young girl, impoverished, impassionate, angry. She sees the world very different than I do. So do most people, with the possible exception of Rush Limback. I don't know what it is, maybe 90s slang or 90s person. I don't know. Anyway, so they're sitting here at the limo, right? Anyway, so he says, she argued that I have the responsibility to help people. We are lawyers. We help people every day. When were we not screwing? When we're not screwing them over? It's just, yeah, perhaps. Or perhaps there's something more I can do. But then we go to Paris Island, city of Dakota, some kind of a housing project, and we have this girl here 15 years old. She wants to be a writer. That's her dream. But then at some point they gonna, these guys going to a house. And it seems there's some kind of a thing going on in the city because this guy says all the cops going to be here on the island trying to stop the Big Bang. I don't know what it is. Maybe riots, super villain, who knows? And so we go out and to the burbs and help ourselves some serious cash and merchandise. So she says, stop the car, Noble. I ain't no thief. We're going to up the Prospect Hills. They got so much money up there, they won't even miss a little bit. A little bit we take. Besides, we have a good night. Maybe we'll make enough money for you to get yourself a typewriter. I bet Toni Morrison has a typewriter. I bet these people do. So Toni Morrison, that's, I don't know, she is a famous writer and she's a big fan of that person, I guess. And I believe her name is Raquel. Look at this car, by the way. It's great. Also, the coloring reminds me a lot of other 90s projects, more like Valiant. If you have, this old school Valiant comics from the 90s, it's the same kind of coloring. I like that. So they are in this big mansion, right? And he says, grab what you can and get out. You caught robbing white people, you go to jail. We split up, but I'm not the kind of person who wants something just because somebody else has it. To tell the truth, I was more interested in looking around than taking anything until I saw the study. Whoever lived here had more than money. They had knowledge, they had history, and I wanted it more than I have ever wanted anything in my life. So then she hears a voice. Hats. It's the blood syndicate. And she says, Christina, are you down there? I heard some sort of noise. Ah, shit, it's the butler. Chill, Lenny. We didn't come here to hurt and nobody. I know you got to make a living, brother, but so do we. And ain't no white man stuff worth getting killed over. You're mistaken on several accounts, young man. I do not work here. This is my house. These things you intend to steal are also mine, and I do not intend to allow it. They get a culture shock that this man is actually successful, right, as a black man. And so the girl comes in and says, Noble, forget the stuff. Let's go. I'll take whatever I want, you boogie-ass MF. I'm not going to put up with that sort of language in mind. And he shoots him, and they are in shock. She says, I never seen anybody get shot before. And I'm pretty sure this isn't how it's supposed to happen. This has gone quite far enough. So they are running away, right? He says, stay back, man. He says, put the gun down. You surprised me once, but I'm ready for you now. And he's still shooting. Give me that before you hurt yourself. Don't move from the spot. I'll be back for you shortly. So the girl says, I read this book called Song of Solomon, where this man wanted to fly, not like in an airplane, but for real. In the book, though, flying didn't mean flying. It meant something else. Flying was like freedom. I thought I understood the book, but it didn't. Not really. Not until I saw it. When you can fly, there is no burden you can bear. When you can fly, gravity can't touch you. When you can fly, you can do anything. I mean, it looks great. I mean, I like the art, by the way. And so Icon flies around them, right? And he says, I have no patience for criminals. But he says, I prefer not to have certain details of this encounter made public. I'm going to let you go. But in the future, I expect you to comport yourself like citizen, not common thugs. If you want something, pay for it. If you can't afford, work for it. So this guy says, he says then, your behavior reflects poorly on our people and on yourselves. Oh, that's some good messaging here. He said, F you, man. So you got a bulletproof vest. I'll shoot you in the face. So he says, Icon, I sincerely hope whatever you are about to pull out of your coat is made of chocolate. Because I promise you, I'm going to make you eat it. So he pauses. Now, he says, I want you to leave now, and you tell nobody what you are seeing. Because you are to return anything you've stolen tonight to its rightful owner, and you are never commit another crime. Because if you do, you will see me again. The girl says, I don't know about the other guys, but I believed him. All right, But instead of, I don't know, being scared and moping around, she is, well, first of all, getting caught by her mother because she's late at home. She knocks on his door and she says, "Hello, Mr. Freeman. I've been thinking and I figured out what you should do." That's when I told him how seeing him open up a whole new world of possibilities for me. How I thought he could help lots of people if only they could see what he can do. All right, that's cool. I believe her name is, what's her name, by the way? Raquel? I have to figure it out. That's when I'm told him my plan. Icon, what's that? It means like an example or an idea. Actually, it's a symbol, something that stands for something else. Oh yeah? What do you stand for? You should be a superhero, she says, and then basically hey, you can do a lot for the world. And what is Rocket? That's me. I would be like your sidekick so that you can never forget why you're doing it. That makes me chuckle. But then he is a little bit stoic here. He says, people don't need examples. You only need to work hard and then you get what you want. Something like that, right? And if you want a better life, don't look for examples. Do what I did. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's a lot easier to pull yourself up by your bootstrap, Mr. Man, if you already know how to fly. So he's storming off. But then she says, I never thought I would see him again. But 2 days later, he gave me a costume like the one I designed, but made out of a material I've never seen before. He also gave me a special bell that he said would protect me from harm once I learn how to use it. He said that I should meet him at the bridge in 3 weeks. Tonight's the night, and if I'm lucky, from now on, I'm going to have plenty to write about. So yeah, icon, right? Inspiration, like that. It's a good message. But then Icon is walking through streets and he sees all these poverties, right? So maybe, think about that. He's making an example. So Rocket, let's call her Rocket for now. Raquel is her name. Is here, and then she types something and wants him to hear, but I cannot say it because it has the word that YouTube doesn't like, right? So you can read it here. And he says that he's more like a Booker T man, from the wrestler from WWE back in the day. So he says there's a situation in downtown. We might able to help. So he's getting dressed, and I must say it looks good. I like this art. That's what I mean with if I go back a little bit. There is the house style arts. That was very prevalent back in the day. I know I'm talking like I'm an old man. I am an old man, but now we have a lot of different styles that I don't dislike. But when it comes to DC and Marvel, I want to have this kind of style. If you want to see Superman needs to be kind of style. Although maybe if it's an Elseworld or maybe some exaggerated style that is maybe a parody or an an annual. I don't mind that, but normally I prefer these kind of styles when it comes to superhero comics. Personal preference, by the way. So they are here. There's something going on to the city hall, city of Dakota, and Icon says basically says to Raquel that they are going to land in the middle of the whole cop thing here. Except, hey, I'm the sidekick. I'm supposed to be the naive one, she says. Oh my God. You think the cops are sitting around and waiting for a flying N-word to drop out of the sky and do the job for them? Watch your language. And don't assume everything is racial. If you want to do this, you have to show respect to the authorities. So he jumps in and, good evening, officer. What the hell are you supposed to be? I'm Icon. I'm here to help. He wants to shake his hand. Is that so? So basically he says, well, you can help us by putting your hands over your head pronto. Don't assume everything's racial, huh? I'll try, says Rocket. But I bet this never happens to Superman. And that leads us to the next issue, police action. It looks good. Looks really good. I like the coloring as well. So yeah, this surprised me because I was more curious, than I I mean, it's not that I want to have icon per se in my possession, but then I looked it up, a couple of issues, and watched some videos and images, and I thought, yeah, let's try it. And by accident, I got a couple of comics, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it. Also, a preview for Static, by the way, and again, pleasantly surprised. Right? Oh man, Double Dragon. Pleasantly surprised about this. So it doesn't matter what you look like. If you just tell a good story and have compelling characters, your race doesn't matter, right? And of course, people read what they want to read, but yeah, this is actually my first. No, I have of course Jon Stewart as well. I have also Jon Stewart comics, Green Lantern. Yeah, but Icon, I think I like it. Now leave a comment below and tell me if you like it and want to see more. Maybe we can continue, maybe not. It's just me and more like showcase. It's a review, but also want to showcase this comic, but I'm interested. Guys, thank you so much for watching as always. I see you next time.